All right, let's get to our next guest. She is the mayor of Sainte-Anne-de-Bellevue. Paola Hawa joins us on the program. Paola, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Good morning. Good morning. I really like that little intro, and to respond to your question, what can you do while you're working from home? It's called multitasking, and women have been doing it since forever. So welcome to the club.
I love that. You've just given a good laugh for a lot of people. Now, Paola, mayor of Sainte-Anne-de-Bellevue, the best part of Quebec, according to the premier of this province, François Legault.
Yes.
This is, to be honest, Paola, I'm an urban boy. I've lived in Montreal my whole life, but it's been like Côte de Neige and NDG and Lachine, very urban, and now I live downtown, so very urban. I didn't even know that there's even a possibility of hunting on the island of Montreal. What are the rules, regulations? Are you allowed to hunt on the island?
You are absolutely allowed to hunt on the island of Montreal. We are in the island of Montreal is in Zone 8 North on Faune Quebec's zoning for hunting, and you're allowed to hunt. So therefore, you're allowed to hunt on the entire island of Montreal. So technically speaking, you can go not only to the West Island, where we have l'Anse-à-l'Orme and Le Grand Parc, but you could actually hunt on Mount Royal. And I don't know if you remember the story a few months ago about the wild turkey that was walking up and down the Plateau Montréal. Well, it was in season, and you could have shot it. So many people, you're not the only one. Many people, 98% of the people out there on the island of Montreal do not realize that there is a right to hunt on the island. And the law dates back to, I believe, the 1970s. And it has not been updated, and that's the challenge now, is to convince the Ministre de la Faune to dust off the old law, recognize our new reality. We are in an urban setting. We have 2 million people living on the island of Montreal, and it's time that the law reflects our reality, the reality of the island of Montreal.
I'm kind of shocked here, just to think that, you can have joggers and people enjoying Mount Royal, and then next to them there could be a hunter saying, I got to get me a wild turkey. That seems insane.
Isn't it, though? Isn't it like the epitome of absurd? I can't even find enough adjectives to describe how ridiculous the whole situation is. But I'll tell you what's even more upsetting and disconcerting in all of this is that the minister is very reticent and is pushing back quite a bit in order not to change the law. And to be frank with you, I really don't understand the pushback. I don't understand the lack of appetite to do the right thing and ensure that, joggers and families that go for nature walks in Anse-à-l'Orme or Le Grand Parc are kept safe. I really don't get it. It's beyond my level of comprehension.
We're with the mayor of Sainte-Anne-de-Bellevue, Paola Hawa, talking about hunting on the island of Montreal, which, as we've just learned, or maybe you probably at home already knew this, but you can hunt all over this island. So, Paola, maybe there's a counterpoint here saying, hey, to keep certain populations of animals in check, there should be an allowance for some hunting. Is there a balance here that can be achieved?
I'm sorry, that is a false argument, and I really don't want this to devolve into a debate about hunting, the merits of hunting, the non-merits of hunting, animal rights. That's not the issue at all here. What we need to focus on is security. And security of the residents and those walking our parks has to be, our number one priority. The other issue, if there are too many deer or you want to control of deer population or other animal population, fine and dandy. That's a different matter. And the Ministère de la Faune, again, has to step up to the plate and handle that. But right now, the focus has to be on security.
Now, why, to me, I always look at politics, right? To explain things, you just have to look at politics and what are the political arguments here. To me, it would seem like for the government, the Ministère de la Faune, to say, hey, you know what? You no longer can hunt on Mount Royal Park. It would be a winner. It would be a winner politically. So why is there a hesitance?
I have no idea. That's a good question to ask the minister. And I really don't know. I cannot find a rational argument that would support his position. It's beyond me. It's beyond me. It's a no-brainer, really. No. Weapons and families walking a little trail in a park do not mix. They just don't mix, no matter what. There's no way to justify it.
Now,
So I really don't understand the reticence.
now, do we have examples of close calls? When it comes to regular citizens who are walking in one of our nature parks, and is there a real? Because maybe there's your argument. We're dealing with a problem that doesn't exist if there haven't been close calls. Of course, you can always make the argument it's just waiting to happen, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, exactly. We know. Well, the Minister de la Faune puts out every year. They put out the number of kills in specific zones. We know that in 2019 there were at least 14 registered kills of deer in Ocelot Park. So we know that hunting is going on. And anybody that lives in St. Anne's North, that is just adjacent to the entrance to the park, will hear the gunshots. So we know it's going on. What are we waiting for? I mean, are we waiting for some kid to go for a discovery hike in the forest and be shot? I really don't understand what we're waiting for. Isn't it a question of prevention rather than just fixing it after the fact, after something horrible happens? So it's...
Well, listen, I thank you for coming on the show and providing us with some insight on this. You've opened up my eyes. I am interested to see where this goes. Thanks so much.
May I add something? Because I know there's a lot of skeptics out there. A lot of people say, well, there's bylaws for Montreal and it's St. Anne's that you're not allowed to discharge a weapon or whatever. But what's really important here is that this is a law that falls into a void, because hunting laws are provincial laws, and a municipal law cannot trump a provincial law. Mm-hmm. Ergo, if I were to go into Ocelot and discharge a firearm in order to shoot a deer, and the SPVM would stop me because I'm discharging a firearm, I can go before the judge and say, Mr. Justice, I was exercising my right to hunt, which is, supreme over the municipal bylaw, and I would get off. The fine would be vacated. So, I caution people who say, yes, that we have municipal bylaws. Yes, we do, but that doesn't fix the problem.
Yeah. Paola Hawa is the mayor of Sainte-Anne-de-Bellevue, which is just a lovely, lovely part of the island of Montreal. Can't wait to.
Beautiful.
It's beautiful. Can't wait for some afternoons on the boardwalk eventually. Thanks so much, Mayor.
You're very welcome.